Every artist knows the struggle of learning to draw the human face. It is one of the most challenging things to draw, especially if you're starting out. And that sucks because it's the main focal point of most art containing people, you know, because it's their face. And a portrait could be ruined if the proportions were just a little bit off. So, to avoid having ruined pieces, I've decided to learn to draw a head from almost every angle. And stick around if you want to learn something too. So, here's the plan. Step 1, we're going to draw a 5-point perspective grid to put the heads on in the first place. Step 2, I'm going to draw 5 rows of heads with 7 heads in each row. But I won't stop there. I'll do the same thing, but draw the back of the head. Let's go. First, I needed a 5-point perspective grid to draw the heads on. How do you do that? Hold on, you just gotta warm the fingers up real quick, get them all toasty like, you know what I'm saying? So, our first plan, 5-point perspective grid. Here's how you do a 5-point perspective. You put a point in the middle of your thingy. I think mine's a little off center, but it's okay, we'll survive. And you kind of want to make a little frame around it like this. You put a point on each side. Make a little axis like I did here with them. Mine's going through the middle point. Boom, you suddenly got 5 points. Wow, it's almost like it's called 5-point perspective. And then you're gonna take your lines. You can do it at any frequency you want. You're gonna bring them out. Wow, that looks weird. Okay, then comes the most annoying part of 5-point perspective, because you're gonna put big ol' curves on that thing. I'm sure there's some sort of way for me to do this with like rulers and stuff, but you know, I'd rather do it like this. Copy, paste that thing, flip-a-rooney. Oh my god, my eyes are dying as we speak. Wow, it's almost like it's magically just become symmetrical. Unfortunately, we have to do the same thing. You gotta do it across the x-axis now. Good lord, just draw it. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be harder than drawing the actual head. Okay, we have our lopsided 5-point perspective grid. Now that the grid was complete, I had to start work on the actual heads. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and there's going to be 7 heads in each row, eventually rotating to the right. So I'm going to try and keep the same proportions for each head as well. I always enjoy marking in whatever this is. I know there's a name for the bone, but where your nose turns into your eyebrows, I don't know. It just feels like a good landmark for me to start at. It's always good when you're drawing people, if you want to keep it consistent. Always watch for the distance between other lines. I always start with the corner, and then the upper lid always has more curve than the bottom lid. The bottom lid tends to be mostly straight. There's not like a set order of steps that I like to follow. I just do whatever makes the most sense for me in the moment, and you should do the same when you're drawing heads. Okay, we don't want to put too much detail in because we're trying to focus on the structure, like how I completely whiffed the shape of that jaw right there. I've heard some artists say that boxes aren't super good for drawing the head. I don't know, I can't remember why, but I don't care because it works for me. Something that also helps me that I don't see a whole lot of is kind of sketching the eyeballs into the face beforehand, just so I understand where they sit, and that makes it a lot easier to get them into place. And I'd also recommend, if you're getting into drawing faces, that you study up a little. You don't have to be a lot, you can just do a couple drawings on the structure of the skull, and that helps a lot with knowing where things are supposed to be placed. Making progress, it's amazing. Something's off here. All of these facial features are just too small. We're getting there. It's been like, what has it been, like an hour? And I've only drawn 4. Wait until we have to do them looking up and down, bro. Oh no, what is this? This front one is mogging. Look at him, and then it just goes downhill. We have this beautiful first row complete. The first row of heads went well, but I still had way more to go, and all of them were from challenging angles. But the main thing with this is the freaking jaw. The jaw is always the hardest part. I think this is the angle where the jaw is almost like a straight line. Now we're thinking. God, that looks kinda scary. So one thing I also want to mention is that something that I messed up with a lot or might still do, I always have a tendency to make the eyeballs farther out than they should be, like further apart, so I don't know, watch out for that. Another thing that's really weird about drawing faces looking up is the ears, because when they're really looking up, the ears are going to be way down here, and it looks really wrong but really right at the same time. You kind of just have to imagine that, let me turn this off, you kind of have to imagine that eye line wrapping around the head, because if you know basic proportions, you know that ears kind of follow where the eyes are. I mean, it looks alright, I think. I'm kind of just going for it on this one. Like, this is, I don't know. I don't have enough experience to try and explain this. You just kind of gotta have that feeling of how things should probably look. Probably. This has to be one of the most awkward angles to draw a face on, bro. Hey, it's not looking too bad, you know? For my first time doing this. Okay. I mean, it looks alright-ish. I said I was gonna do 7 heads in each row, but the outer row is just gonna be a bunch of differently angled side profiles. So I don't know. I don't think I should do that. So I don't think I'm gonna do those last 2 on each row. So I lied. I think this is the best I've ever done at like recreating the same face over and over again. What was cool is that I wasn't even halfway through and I was already starting to see improvements. Now, the final upwards row, but then I had to take that practice and tackle what I thought was the hardest row yet. Oh no, this is gonna be so... Oh my god, just draw the line, good lord. God, this looks chopped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like this. See, it looks really weird, but it's starting to come together. The real challenge is gonna be when we have to put this thing at an angle. Oh god, it just, it looks so weird. God, that looks goofy, bro. Oh. This is gonna be horrific. Oh no. I'm starting to notice a pattern. I think things are harder than they actually are, which is, I think that is pretty inspiring. It's so weird with perspective how things slowly, like this is the base face, it just slowly becomes more warped. I'm not a big fan of drawing the nose, but for some reason when I'm doing it in perspective, when I'm like drawing in perspective, the nose seems to be like the most useful landmark. The upper faces are done! Yay! This makes me so happy. This makes me unbelievably happy because now an easy part remains. It may not be the best, but it's my best. With the upper angles complete, I just had one last half to do. But things weren't as easy as I thought they would be. God, this looks interesting. Dude, by the time we get to the bottom, it's just gonna be like this. And all you're gonna see is his nose poking out. Oh, nah, what is this? Yo! The stuff I thought would be hard was a little easier, and the stuff I thought would be easy is a little more difficult. Look at that. That looks awesome. I'm getting better. Wow. Gosh, I'm getting so tired of drawing goofy little boxes everywhere. I'm starting to realize now how nice the faces up here look. And I thought they looked kind of goofy. After finishing the hardest part, even though I wasn't super happy with the lower faces, it was time to flip things around. In the title, I said that I would do every angle. The weird thing I noticed while drawing the back of the head is that it doesn't look like a lot, but for me, it took a lot of visualization and understanding of the skull, especially from weird angles. And as I worked on, I started to realize how tedious it can be drawing the same thing, just a little different each time. But it's worth it because there is no better way to learn how to draw something than to draw it until you are too bored to draw it anymore. And this time, since going down was harder, we're gonna go down first. If you suck at thinking in 3D, you better get better at it if you're gonna draw heads, cause whew, it's just like an egg. How does that look? That's a little better. You know, I'll accept that. And the more I draw heads, the more I start to realize, studying skulls is very important now. I thought it was just earlier I was just hey, it's kind of just try it out, it'll help a little bit, but no, it's carrying right now. It's carrying so hard. Everything that I think that's gonna be easy is always so hard, and I'm so tired of it. As we go down, you don't have as much of that that angle in anymore, like that. I didn't really talk a whole lot while I was drawing the backwards heads, and this was probably because I was so tired of drawing them and I just wanted to get the video over with. In fact, I was even thinking of giving up. Do I really need to draw the back of the head? And that brings me to a tip I wanted to share, is never stop practicing something just because it's hard and takes up time. If you do that, you'll never get anywhere. Now we gotta do it from this angle. Okay, here we go. Boom! Just like that. Problem with drawing the back of the head is that the back of the head is round, and round things are hard to define. And so it's so difficult to try and make the back of the head not look so weird. Boom! Look at that, we got that row complete. One more. Is that right? That doesn't look right. God, my paper would be destroyed if I had to do this, with pencil and paper. All the erase marks, dude. But yeah, two more heads. Yes. And then we've done it. 2 more heads and then we've done it. Come on. Bang! Let's see it. Look at that! We've done it. front, and then you flip it around. Boom! Just like a 3D model. After pushing through the last couple of heads, I had finally completed all the steps of my plan. And why did I decide to torture myself like this? Because now I feel so much better at drawing heads from angles, and just by knowing that, I've already taken a huge step towards being a better artist. If you watched to the end, I hope you've taken some inspiration to go practice your art, whether you're drawing heads or not. Don't stop when the practice is hard, and I'll see you all in my next video. Okay.